Thank you very much for having me speak today. Again, my name is Nicholas Cappello. I am co-president of New Method Plating in Worcester, Massachusetts. The folks at TURI basically asked me to kind of speak about I would say it's a process, and it's been an adventure, and it's been an educational process of upgrading from TCE or trichloroethylene to alcohol-based solvent. It has been a timely process, but we do have some definite positive results, which I'm kind of touch base. And again, that was I was asked to speak to explain our procedure and how it has come to be. That was really basically my presentation, is the whole experience from making this decision to where we're at now. So. Just a quick little blurb about us. We were established in 1931 by my grandfather. We are third generation business, my brother Chris and I. I threw this in just to kind of as a important tidbit on trichloroethylene. We have been using trichloroethylene for well over 50 plus years. And it's always kind of a situation with, I think, a lot of platers and chemical users. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It's a great product. It has always done the job. We've always had successful cleaning, but ultimately is on the endangered list. And we know that there are some health hazards and there are some concerns. So it was always one of those things like, yes, we need to address this, but we knew it was not going to be a quick transition when we're having great results with something. To try and switch this a different chemistry, we were concerned with quality issues, production issues, et cetera, and so forth. So it has been a lengthy process to really reconfirm that we're doing the right thing here. We specialize in production plating. We primarily do zinc, cadmium plating, and nickel plating here. We do vapor degreasing as a side business, and we also do it as a primary for parts cleaning. So that's just a little tidbit about us. I know Turi had kind of give me some, points of discussion for the webinar. One of the motivation. Why did we do this? Okay. Primary reason was obviously one of the biggest issues is our aging equipment. We had equipment that was definitely failing. We were having production issues, maintenance issues, some quality issues. Obviously, the threat of the banning of the trichloroethylene, which everybody's pretty much why they're logged on today. This is a known thing. It's not a question that it's going to happen. It's a matter of when. Obviously, the chemical hazard of is a big issue. I'm going to just say TCE to make life easier. Everybody knows obviously what we're talking about. So I'm just going to say TCE. One of the more interesting parts of this that has come as we are officially out of TCE completely here is waste removal costs. And I will touch into that in a couple of my slides a little bit, which are completely astounding. What the waste removal costs have gone up tremendously, as everybody does know, the waste costs have gone up tremendously, specifically, and I will touch base on that. Energy and maintenance reduction was a key factor too. We had two machines running in a high pressure steam boiler. There is a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of electricity, and we were obviously hoping to cut our electric bill down. Absolutely, we definitely use a lot of power in a plating industry. Cutting down that usage was a big motivation. So that's just a quick little. I throw up a couple, just a little before and afters. These are just some basic screws, before and after screws on the left side. We had just a light machining oil on them. You can see before and after. Again, we do two different processes with our vapor degreasing. It is for surface preparation prior to plating. And that's basically clean off burrs or heavy contaminant oils that the caustic and various cleaners will not take off. And the other part of our business is strictly vapor degreasing. We have customers that send in products to be vapor degreased and sent back out. And that's two different aspects of the machine. One point that I'd like to make is that for us specifically, we are a job shop. We don't know what's coming in. We have to be able to adapt at all different types of products that could come in one time or it could be years on end coming in. We don't know. So finding a machine and chemistries to adapt to that was a major concern for us. Quick little rundown. What basic materials that we do process? Steel, some die cast, brass, stainless steel, and aluminum. That's kind of the basic materials that we handle here for either surface prep or final production for cleaning. Either way, there is an importance for oil removal. It is very key, obviously, for plating. If you have terrible buildup, oil contamination, buildup on the parts, you're going to have production issues, flaking, etc., and so forth. And the other aspect is that for a lot of the finished jobs, a lot of the parts of machining blind holes. And there's a lot of the customers request, they want that cleaned out. They want those burrs and drillings and shavings. They want all that removed for either final assembly, powder coating, et cetera, and so forth. So that was a major concern that we made sure. And with the TCE, we was always very successful at really doing a pretty well job at getting all that removal. So we were concerned, is this modified alcohol? Is it really going to handle it? Is it going to, where are we going to be at? Are we going to start facing production issues with changing over? And again, I kind of touched on this, but being a job shop, again, we have to deal with, very odd jobs that come in, cylinders, plugs, pieces, you name it. It can be screws, it can be round parts that can't be banged up. So that was a big consideration for upgrading our equipment. Okay, this gives just a quick little before and after of our equipment. So the machines on the left are, you could say, our old equipment. There were two machines there. The new machine is just one, which we're happy, and they take up about the same amount of floor space. The new machine is an ILSA manufacturing. It's an IK40E. It's a vacuum degreaser, metal cleaning machine. The chemistry that we ended up buying and purchasing after some research is the Dow Clean 1601 modified modified alcohol-based solvent. I will tell you the machine is manufactured in Italy. The representative is through Alliance Manufacturing here in the United States. I can give you some more information on that as well as we go through the presentation. One nice thing on this, obviously, we're going from two pieces of machinery that need twice as amount to one piece of machinery that has everything encompassing. So we were very happy to have one machine to handle all of our production. So it was very well executed as far as that going from 2 to 1. We've been very happy with that, maintenance reduction. So they asked me to talk a little bit about implementation experience. So as far as the chemistries, there are a wide amount of chemistries, and I will say there's chemistries with variations in them that we found. The biggest thing that I can tell you is that reaching out to your suppliers, talk to people, get some information as far as, hey, can we do, I do this type of work. I'm looking for this type of results. We run this type of production. Chemical suppliers usually can point you in the right direction. Picking out the right chemistries is very important. Trialing is, we did that. We made use of TURI. They did some trial samples for us. A lot of the chemical suppliers are willing to send you, we have one supplier actually send us a unit, a complete machine to test out, trying to visit places, customers, etc., so forth. There are some resources out there to make use to try it out. Um, it's important to get your SDS sheets on your chemistries, see what's in them, so what's available, make sure there's no issues for what type of production you are running. Equipment selection is a big one. There are a lot of manufacturers out there. There's a lot of equipment. There's a lot of different sizes, capacities. You do have to do a little bit of homework, which I did, as far as how much work you need an hour, how much production you plan a week, um, how many shifts, hours per day, et cetera, and so forth. So there's a lot. Picking out the right piece of machinery is I think next to the chemistries is very important, because that is essential to making this modified alcohol product work correctly. It's really having the right equipment. I know this particular manufacturer, again, I'm speaking based on our experience, was very willing to work with us, customize actually the machine height down because it would not fit in the building, which was a big issue. They were very accommodating, excuse me, to shrink the height of the machine down. And modify the machine to make it work for us, which was great. They answered a lot of questions. Have a lot of questions out. If you're just starting out in vacuum degreasing business, if you're just establishing that, it can be a little bit of a shell shock from an open top or a aqueous cleaner. It is a big change. There's a little bit of different science to it. Equipment delivery. Uh, yes, these things are not off the shelf. It's not like going to buy a car or, going buying something at Home Depot. This is a custom built piece of machinery. Um, they come from various parts of the country. They do take time. This was about a year, about a year wait from purchase order to delivery, or just under a year. Um, so don't wait on this. This is something, if you are at a point where, which is where, again, for us, our machinery was at the point of failure. We had just crossed the line of ordering it just in time to get us to take the next leap and remove the old machinery, put the new machinery back in service. We were just there. So that's one thing I could like to tell you as far as implementation is, don't wait. If you are at a point on it, do your research now, because there's a lot. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of considerations to purchasing a new machine. Again, kind of already touching based on considerations. That's kind of where I'm at. Again, reach out to your to TURI. They were very good. They did a lot of sampling for me. We basically, I've started this project probably, I would say, a solid 5 years ago, trying to put some materials aside, reach out to chemical suppliers. I think it has been a process. I viewed different manufacturers. I know I did this particular machinery. The sales rep was nice enough to let me go to a customer and actually go see the equipment. I think that's very important. I think that's a great, if you have that opportunity to go physically look at the equipment. Obviously, the chemistries. Luckily, the machinery that I saw, the chemistries happened to be the same that we were interested in, so that made life a lot simpler. But going to actually see the machinery, open the doors, ask questions of the current person who is operating it, is very important. It's a big decision. Um, the chemical suppliers, again, they will reach out. There was a fairly lengthy determination of kind of going back and forth about the types of oils we were using or receiving, chlorinated oils, et cetera, and so forth. Again, repeating as a job shop, it was very tough to limit down to say, yes, we're going to have receive a certain type of oil. Some of our products come from overseas. It is very difficult to narrow down exactly what type of oils. So there has to be definitely some feedback, and most chemical suppliers will ask you that to say what types of oils you're using. And I said, I don't know. It's very tough to say, because we don't know what we're getting in. We had a rough idea of the types of oils, some machining oils, some are very heavy. So having that information or the best to make an educated decision, it was a big part of this, and I wanted to kind of share that because I figured, oh, degreasing is degreasing. What is the big difference? But there is um, consideration, especially when it comes to with the modified alcohols. There was testing, which was actually in my previous slide. There is a testing procedure which we conduct once a week. We draw a sample out of the machine. The lab technician will test it, and there's two different stabilizers for the system. And luckily, we have not had any additions made, so it's been working. It's been very stable, which is great. So there are a couple different stabilizer systems that are available along with the test kit that must be purchased to test the solvent out. Um, I'm going to quickly kind of just jump into the waste removal costs. So I took me a little bit of punching around on a calculator, and that number is legitimate. I came up with a 159% increase on hazardous waste removal. That is for a single drum of oil or oil mixed with trichloroethylene. My cost went up almost to $1,650 for the last drum of that's just oil and tri. That is astronomical. That is crazy. Obviously, we all know waste hauling is very unpredictable nowadays. The prices vary. There's a lot of surcharges. Obviously, I'm sure like most platers and everybody in hazardous waste hauling, you try to maximize the most you can for each pickup because there is such a cost associated with it. Um, I was very happy to know that drum was the last drum. We have no more left, and I am happy we have closed the door on it. But that is a real consideration for everybody. I wanted to share that the waste hauling costs for the tri has gone up considerably, crazy amount. Um, Obviously, the alternatives compatible, the results have been great. We have I definitely have had increased quality. The work was to come out clean, but now it's coming out shiny, specifically on some stainless steel parts and stuff like that. So it really has been, as far as that, a very useful to us for when production gets busy. We want to get this product in, we want to get it out, and most of the customers need these products back quick. They want a quick turnaround, and that's been a key part of this whole thing. Quickly on machine operation. The machine itself is obviously computerized, touchscreen user interface. Very simple. One thing I will say on it is you kind of can't mess it up. They have a lot of safeties. Again, speaking about the ILSA unit that I purchased, it has parameters in there for startup. You start the machine up in the morning, it will tell you when it's ready to operate. When you put the work in, you start a cycle. The cycle will compensate for drying time. It will compensate for heat. It'll compensate for cleanliness. So there is no variance that, oh, the work is coming out wet or not dry or it should be cleaner. With it having a significant size vacuum system on it, it draws out and it will continue to dry until it has evacuated all product from the machine. So in the couple of months, we have not added anything. The gentleman, when we started the machine, when I said, oh, we put 2 drums in here, and he said, I said, oh, I should get some more. He says, you won't need it. And I think he's right. As of now, we have not had to add any solvent. We have obviously drained out roughly a gallon to 2 gallons a month of waste oil. That waste oil has now been classified and is going to cost me $160 a month for a drum of just oil because there's no hazard with this anymore. So put that in a quick perspective to everybody. I just got the price on that a couple of days ago. I almost fell out of my chair. I was shocked. And the other nice thing on the machine, the minimal training required. It again, with it being fully automated, we can have any of the guys quickly show them, yep, door opens, closes. It really is automated when the When the load is completed, the machine turns green light, you're good to go. Um, One of the things that's interesting on it, as the machine heats up, it continues to go a little faster. So as the morning cycle, it takes a little longer, but again, it's all part of the automation of the machine. There are, I think, 30, maybe 20 to 30 different temperature controls in it that is constantly checking, checking, checking. And that's nice. It's nice knowing that the product is staying in the machine. I don't have to babysit it. I don't have to sit there being concerned if the product's going to come out wet or not clean. Just some kind of quick results. Again, July 23rd was our initial startup. So we're not exactly a year into this operation, but we're several months in. So far, so good. Again, I already touched on this, that there have been no chemical additions made to the machine. Um, Maintenance in lab, again, the machine will remind you after so many cycles per your setting to drain the oil. It will tell you when the water separator has to be drained. It will tell you when it's time to do a lab testing. So again, I think there's something to be said about that, especially something as a degreasing, which where it's an automated machine, you're kind of putting the product in, you start it, you kind of walk away. This is a lot of checkpoints to make you remind you to do what has to be done. It'll tell you like, hey, it's time to do something. With the fully automated, we definitely have seen reduced cycle times compared to our old machine. And the old machine, one of the downfalls on the older technology is that the machine would run based on time. So if it was programmed to wash for 2 minutes, it was programmed to evacuate for 30 seconds, it was programmed to dry for 6 minutes, and then it was done. That never allowed for 100% clean parts. Whereas now, again, the machine's doing all the guesswork. Again, energy reduction, I've spoken this already, but we're going from one machine versus two in a 180 PSI electric steam boil, which was a huge draw on electricity. We have seen a drastic increase in reduction in time. The machine has really not been running 5 days a week based on we're getting tremendous results with our production. So it's based on an average 40-hour work week. I would say we're probably only running it about 30 hours a week, I would say. The machine is definitely quicker for the production wise. And the last kind of tidbit on this I'd like to touch on is we have definitely have received customer feedback. We had told some of our customers we were implementing a new chemistry, and not necessarily we wanted to get kind of a blind feedback. So we wanted to say, okay, let's see what we get for feedback. We said, yep, we're making a change to our cleaning system. And then we got some drastic feedback. We wanted to get some, some actual feedback from our customers, saying there was much better cleanliness, less, residue, et cetera, and so forth. So that has been great. That has been a really great advantage to this whole process of getting this machine completed and installed and physically in the building. So that's it. That's kind of my rough. Has that been about 20 minutes? I didn't start my timer.
No, this is excellent. Thank you so much for sharing all of that.
Sure.
We had a lot of eager questions in the chat. Pam, would you mind reading some of them out?
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So Nick, to your last point about working with customers, Chris asks if you had to notify customers ahead of time and whether there were any issues there.
No, none of our customers had any issues. We explained, obviously, we approached it that we were eliminating a hazardous chemical. They all knew we use TCE. And we said we are going to a greener product. And certainly we had no pushback from any of our customers. They were more than willing and very happy to hear that. They said, great. Hey, so that sounds good. We'll keep an eye out for it. And it was nothing but really positive feedback. And it was QC feedback from us as well, as far as examining parts. We could tell right away that stuff was coming out better and cleanlier than before. So no, it was all great feedback from our customers. Definitely. Yeah.
Great. John was asking whether or not the ILSA unit is able to recover or recycle the modified alcohol. Like, how does
Yes.
that work?
Yes. Okay. So as far as that goes, yes, it is recovered. Um, Basic principle of a vacuum degreaser, specifically this machine, you have two tanks in a still. The still is where the dirty product is. You have two clean tanks. Process starts, you put your work in, it sprays, it will spin. There's a lot of different variations on speed of the rotation. You can do tilt, you can do stationary so it doesn't tilt in case you have delicate parts. So it will go through its cycle. At the end of the cleaning cycle, it will go into a dry, it will go into a vacuum. It pulls all that solvent back into the still, where the still is basically blanketed with electric heating coils. And as it boils that out, it will boil and return all that solvent back into the clean chamber, and then the oil remains in the still. So then at that point, once a month for us, and again, everybody, depending on your workload, you might have to do that more often. Once a month, we're getting about a gallon or two of the waste. But all product it does return back into the machine. And we have not found wet parts or any solvent in the waste oil as of now. So,
Yeah, it's really terrific.
totally.
To your point about the different kinds of parts that go in there,
Yes.
Bill asked a question which I think might be a little tongue in cheek, but the question is, what is there a length limit or a size limit of the parts that you can handle in this machine? He's wondering if we can do a 58 Cadillac front bumper.
Yes. No. Okay. We'll touch base on that.
Sorry, Nick.
Our baskets.
I've never been in your shop, so I don't know what size parts you guys can. What the
Um,
old system versus new. Thank you.
yeah. No problem. No. Okay, that's an interesting point. I probably should have put a slide of the baskets in, but I didn't. So the baskets that we're using currently are about 28 to 30 inches long by about 16 inches wide. One of the changes that has been made, and it's actually worked out very well. Our old machine, you had to double stack both baskets on top of each other. You put one in, it would spin in that, and then you'd have two baskets. The ILSA machine, it operates with the same two baskets. Actually, they modified the chamber to work with my existing baskets. So now we have, I think, a roughly 40-inch long capacity to do both baskets. So I think it might even be bigger than that. You caught me off guard with that. It might be a little longer than that, but nonetheless. So it's roughly about 40 to 45 inches, I think, long. So both baskets slide in all at once, the door shuts, and then the process begins. I know they manufacture up to 4, maybe 6 baskets. I think Jim Timler is online. I think he was going to log in, but they manufacture many different size machines for capacities. That I can tell you, I don't know. But for us, it's probably 40 to 45, 42, 45 inches long capacity, which is great. So that actually is an increase for us for longer jobs that could come in. That has been an increase from our 20 to 30-inch baskets. So 25-inch baskets.
Hey, Nick,
Thank you,
thanks
Nick.
for throwing my name in there.
Yeah.
I can tell you, you're correct. The machines are built around the customer's production.
Yeah.
We're not a production machine. We support production, so we have to keep up with whatever those needs are. And Nick is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Chambers to accept multiple baskets. Sometimes it's large baskets. Sometimes it's a bigger basket. It really just depends on the process we're working with.
Yeah.
Thanks. And
Thanks, Jim.
to that point, we, new method plating is opening up their doors and inviting people to come and see the equipment in process. So I put a link to the registration for that demonstration event on December 3rd in Worcester. So if you can join us in the morning on December 3rd in Worcester, Massachusetts, you're welcome to register. We'd love to have people really see it and ask questions in real time.
Yes, no, definitely, one of those things that, it's nice to see it. We're hoping to put some work aside, some actual production work to kind of, see what, actually kind of show what the capacities are. The backside of this thing is quite intimidating. I know the folks from TURI there, when they bring people on the back of the machine, they like their eyes roll open. But there is a lot of moving parts to it. But it's also very impressive, as far as the construction goes. So that's,
and you'll be showing us, how it actually functions and hopefully getting the really gunky stuff. I actually had a question I wanted to follow up on your comment about the different oils that you get parts in with a number of different kinds of oils. Was there any oil or grease that you found that this equipment does not work well for?
I gotta be honest, no. I have not. We have not thrown anything at this so far that it has not cleaned. It's we keep throwing stuff in, like, I don't know, maybe it's not, and it comes out. So no, we have not experienced any issues so far, in all honesty. Not saying we might not encounter or have to increase the cycle times, absolutely. And that is a consideration. We have the machine arrived with basic parameters and steps. I think the machine can hold up to 32 different programs. We're basically using about 6, and you can program whatever your needs are. Like I said, one of the nice things in our other machinery was either spin or no. You can have it so the barrel tilts back and forth. We do have a low speed, so that the machine, if we have threaded objects, like we do a lot of stainless steel with threads, delicate brass that you don't want danged up, you can slow the RPM down to the drive so it goes nice and slow. We've seen tremendous results with that from customers, regarding any damages or bangs and nothing. So it has worked out very well as far as what we've put in the machine so far. Yes, very well.
Cool.
To follow up on that, Pam, they're another company we've been working with. They had some issues with the modified alcohol not working on a particular heavier soil. Plus, it also has some interactions with some of the nickel metal. And so we worked with Isla and Jim from Alliance to try out one of the other solvents that can be used in the machines. And so there are hydrocarbon-based solvents that can be used in similar machines that address those issues. So if it's not the modified alcohols, it can be the hydrocarbons. And if it's not either of those, that's where our research is going to help.
Correct.
As well. So.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. And maybe just one last question, Agnes, if we have time. And following up on your comment about the modified alcohol. So Bill had asked, what do we mean by modified alcohol? And you explained it in the chat, Jason, but if you wouldn't mind just kind of speaking to that, that would be helpful.
Yeah, so the modified alcohols are essentially glycol ethers, and they're the main component in the Dow Clean and the Metal Knox are the Dowanol PNBGE. I have cast numbers in my presentation that if you really want to do a deeper dive to take a look at those, I know John Rashko from OTA was asking about those as well. Take a look at those. If you still have some questions about them, send me an email and we can discuss the pros and cons of the solvents and making sure we compare them to what they're replacing to make sure that we're moving in the right direction.
Great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Nick, for sharing all of these learnings. We've talked a few times now, and every single time I talk to you, I feel like I learned something new. So this was an excellent presentation. Thank you folks in the chat for sending questions. If you have further questions, please just reach out to the training team. We'll connect you. All right.